Go.
Here we are at Singapore Changi Airport waiting for our flight out of Singapore, and so this is a good chance to summarize the points that you won't be aware of when you visit Singapore, things you need to know about Singapore that are unexpected, are different from other cities, other airports around the world, and so that you won't make the same mistakes we did in coming here. So, number one, we flew into Singapore with AirAsia, and for the first time in my memory they actually checked our hand luggage and weighed it, and there's a 7 kilo weight limit for hand luggage per person, and we went about 4 kilos over our group. There's four of us in the group, so that's 28 kilos hand luggage we were allowed, and we were on 31 or 32, and so they charge us 950 RMB for booking the surplus into the hold unexpectedly, because nobody ever checks that much, and we're so close. We always travel with hand luggage, no check. So number one, beware if you're traveling AirAsia. They may, because we then changed onto another AirAsia flight which didn't check the weight of our hand luggage, and so just be aware that AirAsia is not a reliable airline, and avoid it if you can, or travel under the 7 kilo hand luggage limit, and make sure you are genuinely under 7 kilos. They might weigh you. That's issue number one, which doesn't usually happen. Issue number two, when we got to Singapore Changi Airport, they x-ray you and make you check your baggage on the way in arrivals, amazingly. Never had that any other airport. It's always on departure or before departure. But in fact, we haven't been scanned. We've come through from the metro and through the terminal, and we're sitting at the arrivals gate, and we haven't yet had our luggage scanned on departure. You're scanned on arrival, bizarrely. Never happened anywhere else. Quite bizarre. So you have to allow extra time for that, and also remember you have to have your laptop and other devices that are easily accessible. So don't expect. Problem number three, we arranged for a taxi to meet us at Changi Airport to take us to the hotel. Taxi said the taxi driver would only wait 45 minutes for us, and we were, the plane was over an hour late.
2 hours late.
Yeah, the plane was over an hour late, but Changi Airport is so enormous, you cannot get out of Changi Airport in 45 minutes. It's just a joke. You've got the x-ray scanning at the airport, and then you've got a massive long walk all the way to the terminal. Then you've got to go and collect your bags, because we didn't expect to have to check in our bag, but we had to. And so you've then got to get out, and our taxi driver wasn't waiting at arrivals, and of course we've got no internet on the aeroplane, and so finally we sit down at the arrivals. There's nobody waiting for us, and we check, and then there's loads of emails from the taxi company saying how to contact the taxi driver, and of course we can't use our phone. He couldn't or didn't ring us, so we then have to go and buy a SIM card in order to use local phone.
Okay, fine.
So don't try and book a taxi. You need a lot longer than 45 minutes. Or what we should have done, if I'd known it was going to be so difficult, is we should have logged into the free Wi-Fi at the airport as soon as the plane landed, assuming it was available there, so that we could actually check the emails. But we still need to get a SIM in order to activate our phone onto the local phone network so we could call anyone. So it's all a nightmare. So we missed the taxi. We then tried to book another taxi by going to the taxi gate, and because there are 3 adults and 2 babies, they said no, you've got to have 2 taxis, because we've got no specially large taxis available at the gate, so we couldn't do that. So then we had to download the app Grab, which is Uber or Didi in Singapore, Malaysia, in order to call a taxi. We were thinking about going on the metro, but the metro station was a long walk in the opposite direction, and we decided not to. And it's lucky we didn't, because the next day, on our first full day in Singapore, we tried to use the metro, and you can't easily use the metro here. You go to your nearest metro station and you can't buy tickets. Would you believe it? A metro station where they don't sell train tickets, and there was a sign at the door saying we don't sell train tickets. It's like, how do you buy a ticket? Well, you can use your contactless credit card or your Apple Pay, but it only allows 1 ticket. So we have a family, and we want to buy 3 tickets on one card, you can't do that. It's impossible. And so you can't travel as a group. You can't buy tickets for other people on your credit card. It's like, what a stupid system. So you have to buy a multi-ride ticket, a store charge ticket called EasyLink, but they don't sell them at every metro station. Only a select few metro stations sell this EasyLink card. And so we had to go to Harbourfront, buy taxi in order to buy the metro card, and you have to pay cash for the metro card, and you have to top it up with cash. They won't allow you to top it up using credit card, so what you have to do is get cash out of the cash machine in order to top up your stored charge card.
They try to benefit throughout the whole system by themselves.
What is the point?
As possible.
Maybe, I don't know, it's not about benefiting anyone. The fact is, it's not a cashless society in Singapore, as we were led to believe. You do need cash, but the only way you use cash is to top up your card for using on the metro. Oh, what a stupid system that is. And then we've got Go City. We used a Go City pass for 3 days here in Singapore.
How many things we do with Go City Pass actually?
I don't know, but not enough. I don't recommend it. And the reason is that the Go City Pass doesn't cover everything you want to go on. So we went to Gardens by the Bay, which is one of the top tourist attractions in Singapore. And in there's a skywalk, which looks great fun, but you can't go. It's not included in the Go City Pass. And we're here in December, and there's a Winter Wonderland, which is not included in the Go City Pass. And there's a little electric bus to take you to the metro station once you're in, because the Gardens by the Bay is on the far side of the park, so it's quite a long walk from the metro station. It's a nice walk, but you don't want to do it twice. And it's $3 per adult to get the electric car, and that's not included in your Go City Pass for some bizarre reason. And when you go over to Sentosa, the monorail is not included in your Go City Pass, but you can use your EasyLink card to cover the 4 RMB,
Can
4
we
Singapore
pay
dollar.
for other things using EasyLink card?
Apparently, we didn't use it because we didn't have much money on the EasyLink card, because you have to top it up on cash. But the monorail is 4 Singapore dollar. It's a return ticket, but so coming back from Sentosa is free on the monorail, which is useful to know. The cable car ticket is included in Go City, but the cable car station is in the middle of nowhere on Sentosa Island, so it's not much use for anything, as we discovered when we tried to go on the speedboat, and that was at the other end of the island. So just be aware. So other than that, I think that's all. Just to remind you, when you come back to Singapore Changi Airport on the Green Line, East-West Line, there is no direct train service. You have to change at Tanah Merah station. It's just across the platform, but you have to change onto a little shuttle to take you into the airport. And then we're at Terminal 1, and so you have to get a so-called SkyTrain. It's not a SkyTrain, it's just another self-drive shuttle between Terminal 3, which is where you arrive at the metro station, and Terminal 1, which is where we are now. So there you go. Now hopefully you're a bit older and wiser about Singapore, and you won't suffer the horrendous stress and the embarrassment that we suffered from. Oh, just one final thing. When you check in on Scoot Airways, there's loads of automatic boarding pass issuing devices, but you need to have something called your booking reference number as well as your passport, otherwise you can't use them, and you have to
And
read
the boarding
it.
reference number is not easy to find because they have different translations, and you probably don't know what sort of number that you need. They have the exactly the translation, the boarding reference.
What was
for
it in
you.
Chinese?
It's 航班预约号. It's like airline booking number.
Yeah, so there's different numbers and so on. You need to be careful. But that way there's loads and loads of automatic boarding pass issuing points which nobody's using, and there's a long queue at check-in for the tiny number of humans to actually tell you where in your email is the boarding reference number. So find it out before you come, and you can issue your boarding passes very easily then. Okay, now we'll see. And of course our flight is at the far end of the airport, the highest number gate, of course, as always, and it's completely deserted because we're here an hour early. But hopefully there won't be any more to say about Singapore. So the advice to you is don't come to Singapore expecting it to be simple, straightforward and entirely digital. It isn't. You need to have a credit card to pay for things. you need to have an awareness, or you need to have some Singapore dollars in cash in order to top up your Metro card.
Okay.
Forewarned is forearmed. Good luck. You'll have a better holiday than we are. Thank you. Bye bye.
You're very passionate. Thank you. Thank you for the information.